So Aprilia has finally launched their one of the most anticipated motorcycles of at least a decade, the new RS 457, and the company has priced the motorcycle at rupees 4.10 lakh ex-showroom. Now, before we move ahead with the walk-around video of the motorcycle, in which we will tell you all the details about the bike, do let us know in the comments what do you think about the pricing. Is it good? Considering that the new KTM RC 390 has been priced at close to 3.20 lakh ex-showroom, whereas the Kawasaki Ninja 400, which is another of its closest rivals, has been priced at 5.24 lakh ex-showroom. Now, let's get on with the walk-around video of the motorcycle. Now, talking about the visuals of the motorcycle in terms of looks, the entire bodywork has been inspired by the RS 660 and the Big Daddy RSV4, the liter class sibling of this motorcycle. Now, before I tell you more about the design, let me know in the comments what do you think about the styling. So, as you can see, it gets this very sinister looking split type LED headlamp, which gets these sharp LED DRLs. We think it looks really cool, and when you come on the side, it gets this very nice looking layered fairing, and you get this nice sharp tail section, and this muscular fuel tank, and the overall motorcycle looks very sleek. And it will be coming in I guess 3 color options. One of them is white, which is my personal favorite, which looks really bold, but this is the original Aprilia color, which is actually inspired by their MotoGP machine, and we think even this one looks really cool for someone who wants a stealthy look. But the white color, which we'll show you later in the video, it looks very bold and swanky. Now tell us in the comments what do you think about the overall styling, and do you like the fact that it takes inspiration from the RS 660 and the RSV4, or would you have preferred the design to be more original? Now let's talk about the seating ergonomics of the motorcycle. Now the motorcycle is on a paddock stand, so the entire my opinion on the ergonomics won't be very clear, but still I'll hop on the motorcycle and tell you. So the overall seat height is pretty accessible. It is at least for me, I'm 5 feet 11 inches. Maybe if someone is shorter, they might have little difficulty, but not so much. Now when you are on the motorcycle, you are in a proper racy position, but it's not to very extreme like you see in the KTM RC 390 or maybe the Ninja 400. Now to give you a proper compare of both this motorcycle and their ergonomics, we will have to ride both the bikes motorcycle back to back. But being on this motorcycle, I can tell you that the handlebar is within my reach. It is pulled towards me, although these are clip-on handlebars, and this split seat, although the cushioning feels nice, we can only tell you how comfortable it is when we go on a longer ride on the motorcycle. And the fuel tank has proper recess on both sides, so you can tuck in, you can properly grab on to the fuel tank really nicely. And when you are in a proper tucked in position, even then the overall ergonomics of the motorcycle feel very natural. Now it will be interesting to see how the motorcycle feels on a race track, because I think the overall ergonomics will have to be a little more aggressive. Maybe the foot peg will have to be a little upwards and the handlebar will have to go a little downwards. But looking at the picture that it is now, it's quite a good balance between commitment and comfort. Now talking about the engine of the motorcycle, it is powered by a 457cc parallel twin engine with 270-degree crank, and we have seen in the videos this motorcycle sounds lovely, but how does it perform in the real world, that we can only tell you after we ride the motorcycle. But on paper it is pretty impressive. So it makes about 47 bhp of power, which is actually a little higher as compared to its closest rival, the KTM RC 390, and surprisingly even more than the Kawasaki Ninja 400. And the torque output is somewhere close to 43 Newton meters, which we think is pretty good. It comes mated to a 6-speed gearbox, and it gets optional quick shifter as well. And with 3-level traction control, multiple riding modes, I think this engine should be pretty manageable and not as high revving as the older KTM RC 390s maybe. But that's just my guessing as of now. But we can tell you how this motorcycle performs in the real world or on the track only after we do a proper road test of the bike. Now let's listen to the exhaust note of this 457cc parallel twin engine. Do let us know in the comments what do you think of the exhaust note. We think it sounds pretty cool, but we will tell you how it sounds on the road again only after the proper road test. Now let me take a look at the instrument cluster of the motorcycle. This is what the starting animation looks like, which is pretty decent. And this is what the overall layout of the information that has been laid out looks like. And so there are multiple things like the amount of fuel that is left, and you also get to see trip A, trip B detailed information, including the amount of fuel that has been, the amount of fuel efficiency it has returned, and a lot of other data like the battery voltage and stuff like that. So it also gets multiple riding modes. So these are different levels of traction control, ATC. So there are basically 4 levels of traction control which you can see here being changed, and a lot of other things are there on the instrument cluster, which is pretty interesting. Now let's move on to the cycle parts of the motorcycle. So this 457cc engine clings on to an aluminium frame which is joined to an aluminium swing arm, and the motorcycle rides on 17-inch wheels on both ends, alloy wheels by the way, and it gets upside down forks at the front and monoshock at the rear. Upside down front forks get preload adjustability, whereas the rear monoshock gets preload as well as rebound adjustability, and we think that's pretty nice to tune the overall riding, the ride quality of the motorcycle as per your liking, as per the riding conditions, if you're on the track, if you are riding through a bad set of roads. And talking about the brakes, it gets 320 disc brake at the front and 220 disc at the rear, and it gets dual channel ABS, which by the way is switchable, so you can switch off the ABS for the rear wheel. So we think the overall hardware package is pretty decent, and Aprilia has been known to be the benchmark in terms of handling and stability, especially the RSV4, the liter class motorcycle, and that has set our expectations quite high. Now we are nearing the end of the video, and I'll repeat the pricing of the bike: 4.10 lakh ex-showroom. We think that's pretty decent, but whether it is attractively priced will be only known after the Yamaha R3 is launched, which is just around the corner, and that will be one of the deciding factors how successful this motorcycle will be in the market. Now this will be available in 3 color options: one white, one factory racing, and one red and black. And this will be sold only through Motoplex dealership, tier 1 and tier 2 cities in the first phase. Maybe later on they might expand its availability in more cities. Now this is the RS457 for you. Let us know in the comments what do you think about this motorcycle, and stay tuned for the full road test review of the bike.